Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna work on these beautiful loaded tags. Are super cute and you can open them. Let me show you what it's inside. You have here 2 pockets and it's very cute, very useful and very easy to make. So let's get started. You're gonna need a base. I'm using this old card, glue, scissors of course. You're gonna need book pages or whatever you want, another glue that I use a lot, then a cutting board and something to decorate. So let's start by pulling a couple of pages from this book. I have several dictionaries that have been basically marked to be thrown or burned or thrown away, so I'm using them instead. And I'm gonna use these 3 pages. We're gonna go by using our glue stick, and it's very important that at this point you use glue stick and not liquid glue, because this is basically like decoupage. If you use liquid glue, it's not going to stick very well, so just make the effort to use it. You apply very well everywhere, and then paste your book page. In my case, you can use other kinds of paper. I really like using book pages. You can move it a little bit like I do to align to the corner. I'm gonna use my bone to just make sure that it's very well attached. And now I'm gonna cut the excess. I'm gonna go around with my scissors and just cut. It's very easy to cut at this point because the cardboard is strong enough to guide me through the process. So here's the cardboard. Once it's attached, I'm gonna cut in half just because I want to make tags, like so. And now that they are cut in half, it's time for the pockets. So we're gonna open it up and use another piece of paper. I'm just gonna cut this one in half because it's gonna be enough for me to make the pockets. And then with 1/2, again I'm gonna cut in half. Just make sure that the size of my pockets align with the size that I'm having in mind. You can decide whether you want it smaller or bigger. It's just up to you. In my case, I'm gonna fold it right here, so gonna take away all the unprinted part. So I'm gonna use that as a reference, and one of the easiest way for me to fold is folding in the back. So using that as a reference, I'm gonna turn the card around and then I'm gonna start folding to the sides as well. So I'm gonna unfold and then move it around like so. And then I'm gonna use my scissors to cut in the corners. I like making diagonal cuts in my paper. You don't have to do it, but it's a lot easier to do it. Sorry, that was loud. So I'm gonna cut also the top of the pockets like so. And then I'm gonna use the scissors to add more texture to the pockets. Now that we have the pockets, we're gonna paste them in our card or tag. So I'm gonna press the first pocket in the top, in the upper part first, and then I'm gonna fold the other flaps in the back, like so. It's a lot easier for me to paste it this way rather than pasting everything together in the inside of the card, if it makes sense. And there you go. We'll do the same with this other one. With this one, it's gonna be easier even because we can paste everything in the back of the card, like so. So we just apply glue to all the flaps and then press it to glue everything together. And that's it. We have it done. You can add some more things at this point, but I think that I'm pretty happy with how the pockets look like. So I'm not gonna add any additional decorations in the inside, but I will definitely add some things in the outside. I'm gonna do the same thing with the other tag. I'm gonna add the pockets as well, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, everything has pockets at this point. It looks pretty cool right now. You can leave it as it is right now, but I'm gonna add some more stuff. But let's start now to do the backing of the card, because we cannot leave it like it is. We have to add this paper in the back, and so I'm gonna cut this piece of paper in two, and I'm gonna use the half for each one of the tags. So I'm not really worried at this point to be perfect in the cut, because this is larger than I need, so I can just cut excess. Again, what we're gonna do is add the glue stick. Remember, add enough, especially in the corners and in the edges. You can add a lot in the middle too, but especially the corners and the edges are critical. Just like go around, cover everything, including the flaps of the pockets, and then you can align the paper in the back. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna cover this with the paper in the back. Remember, at this point you can still move the paper, so make sure that it aligns perfectly where you want. In my case, I want it just there. I'm gonna go with the bone just to make sure that everything is attached. And now that everything is attached, I'm gonna just go with my scissors and do exactly the same thing that I did on the other side. I'm just gonna let the cardboard guide my scissors. Although in this case you have to be a little bit more careful because you have some things attached. So you just have to be very careful when you're cutting, so you don't cut the pockets. But it's easy enough, I think. I really didn't have major concerns here. It's really kind of intuitive to go around the pockets. But I like checking anyway. Alright, as you can see, everything is put together now. We have two beautiful pockets and the back and forth are covered. I'm gonna do the same with the other tag and I'll be back. I decided that I want yarn, so I'm gonna add some holes here to attach it. And this looks amazing. I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one and I'll be back again. Okay, we have the holes now and we have the pockets, so it's looking really good. We will cut now the corners, and I'm using this to make sure that it's the same size. And I really try not to cut too much because I want to put ephemera inside, so I want to make sure that the cut is tiny, really small enough to make sure that it has the shape of a tag, but not really very strong cut. And I cut the other one, and we have two tags now. It's time to decorate. That's my favorite part. So I have this beautiful beautiful fabric. I think it is fabric. So I'm gonna cut it up and use it. Having eaten this for a couple of days, and I was looking forward to use this in a project. So this is a perfect opportunity for that. And then I also have been trying to use my hand stamped notebook. So I'm gonna just get some parts of it. I need big ephemera, so this one looks perfect. I'm cutting this one in the top, but because I have two tags, I need two of them, and I want like small tags or small pieces. This one is gonna work. Oh gosh, I got attached to my scissors, but there you go. Now we're in a good spot. And I really usually cut off camera, but I think it sometimes a bit of realism really helps to know how long it takes to cut. And I love cutting, I love hand stamping. Those are the things that take a lot of time to do, but I really love it. It's so calming. I really think that from all the things that I do, making collages and cutting hand stamped pieces is probably one of my favorite things to do ever. I like it more than any other thing. It's just so relaxing. And so I'm cutting these to pieces, and usually I leave a border, but in this case I think it does make sense that we cut it right to the edges, because this is black onyx, I think that's the name of the ink, and it's more like a gray shade rather than black. So I rather have like the strong corners visible. So I'm gonna paste one of these pieces in each one of my tags, and then I have the gold piece in there. And I have a washi tape also here that I'm planning to use. I have been looking at it for a while now. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna put my gold pieces somewhere like there, and then I'm gonna need something like the main piece. Maybe I'm gonna use this one that is very neutral, but these girls, these are perfect because they are in a very shiny red, and most of our stuff right now is very neutral, so we need something that pops up in our composition, and I think that they are perfect. And this is the washi tape that I was looking at. It's very fun. I use this a lot. I think that I bought 3 rolls at some point, like about 3 years ago or so, and this is my last roll, so that tells you how much I use this. Alright, I think it's time for us to paste everything together. I'm gonna start by adding this hand stamped piece that we just cut, and then we're gonna add this glue here. It does feel a little bit like plastic, and might be wrong, it might be fabric, I really don't know. I can tell by the texture. So I bought this at the thrift store. It was in a ribbon, and I really don't know what it is or how to use it. All I know is that it's shiny and it's cool and it's beautiful. So I think it's safe for me to use in crafts. And then I'm gonna add this one. I always have a hard time peeling stickers, any stickers, PET stickers, regular matte stickers, or washi tape, you name it. It is the hardest thing for me to do. So I think I'm gonna use this girl. I'm gonna move this gold piece over here and put her there. So I'm gonna have to peel her, and again, as I was saying, I always have a hard time to peel any stickers. So this is no deception. As you can see, it takes me well, I wouldn't say a minute, but it takes me very, more than 10 seconds. That is a lot to say for a sticker. Those should be easy, right? But they are not. I think that the Kiss Cat are the easiest stickers to peel. They are so fun and so easy to peel. Anyway, so we need a little bit more here, and maybe these other neutral pieces or something else, but we need something. So I'm thinking to use these leftover PET stickers, or well, actually these are the leftovers from rolls of PET tape that I have from many places. So these, for instance, are from Freckles Tea, but these are a little bit bigger or more neutral than I wish they were, because we have the background of book pages and they don't quite match the color. It has to be stronger, I think. So this piece, I think it works really well, and we can use something neutral as well, like these small little phrases like happy crafting or analog life or something like that. It's really fun sometimes to use, and so I'm thinking that something like this might work. Like this for you, for instance, is a lot easier. I think this one is gonna work really well here. So I'm gonna move this one here, and then I'm gonna put this for you here. Maybe I'm just gonna cut it into pieces and then I'm gonna use it there. It doesn't fit. I decided to cut it a little bit. I think it does fit. It's just the fact that it is too white, that it's not allowing me to use it in the way I want it. So let's just cut it. I think, as expected, now it's working. And this looks great. We can also use a little bit of this tape, and I can see a deep red here, which is perfect because she is red. Oh, well, she has red dress, and so those tones are perfect. And this dark red is really good. Sometimes having very strong colors is what you need. I think this is gonna fit just fine for our purposes. It is perfect. So we're gonna paste this one as well. These two PET tapes are a lot easier for me to peel, as you can see. I don't know. I think that this is great. Now I'm gonna use my tweezers to add these pieces because they are too small and I'm gonna get glue all over the place, so it's just easier to use this. And it fits perfectly and I love how it looks like. I think at this point I'm really happy with how everything turned out. And yes, sometimes collages take time, but I really love it. And it's looking really good. I like it. I'm not gonna put any other elements except for the reinforcers there. I have a full container with reinforcement. I know that the tags in the top of the thing is now really the cutest, but I'm gonna update that, I promise. It's just I needed to put something as a placeholder there, and it's the most horrible one, but I'm gonna fix it soon enough. And I'm gonna move this away. I'm gonna put this again with the tweezers, and I just need to measure before I paste, just to make sure that this is gonna fit and I'm not imagining there. Okay, so it does fit, so we're gonna add some glue like so, and then put it in there. Yeah, in the past I just pasted some things or I applied glue and then I realized it didn't fit, and then so I guess this is lesson learned. So this looks perfect. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this other tag and I'll be back. Okay, everything is decorated now. We're ready to load this with some cute ephemera and stuff. I really enjoy sending this to my pen pals. These are all stickers, hand stamped stickers that I think that they are perfect for these purposes. They're super cute pieces. And then adding a little bit to the top pocket. It's a lot deeper than I was expecting. You see, my small pieces are too small for it, but we can always add more to make it a little bit more bulky, and they look great. It's time for the yarn. So I really like making the holes because it's easier for me to close with the yarn. You might want to do something different, but in my case I just like it. It's very easy. All I have to do at this point is just make the little bow. I really like kind of making it look prettier, as pretty as it could possibly be, just to the full potential of the tag, because this is a present and it should be beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna do the same with the other tag and I'll be back. This is the final product. I hope that you enjoyed the process. If you did, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you watching. See you next week. Bye.